is a valedictorian.
So it is both my privilege and pleasure to introduce this year's valedictorian, Glenys Marshall. I was going to say more though. If you're a student graduating here today, you likely know enough about Glenys that she actually doesn't require any introduction at all for you. She's Glenys. She's Donkey in Shrek. She's with a great sense of humor and amazing hair. But she's also very bright and multi-talented. She can act, she can sing very well, and she can even freestyle rap. That's not a joke, it's serious. For your guests here, though, I'd also like to mention that Glenys is a model citizen of our school. In class, her curiosity and integrity make her a treat to teach. She's a self-starter and has an intangible quality, a spark, if you will, about her. She's the type of person that people are drawn to. And to me, something that makes her exceptional is that she will approach anyone she encounters with an open mind and an open heart. It is not uncommon to come across Glenys in the hallway, listening intently to and engaging with students from other grades, other social circles, and sometimes students with much lower social standing than her. And you know that she is making them feel important and feel listened to. And that's really important, especially for that last group. So for now, we'll all listen to Glenys for a while. And by the way, just so you know, guests today, Glenys is pursuing a career in comedy. That's good for you to know before she starts. And usually I would not wholeheartedly encourage that career choice, but in Glenys's case, I would not be surprised if in 6 years from now you're all bragging about, yeah, she was valedictorian at my graduation before she was on SNL or something like that. So without further ado, here's Glenys.
Welcome, Canterbury grads of 2016! Welcome, family and friends of said grads, to the beginning of the second half of today's ceremony. 3 hours to go, everybody. We can do it. I want to truly thank you all for letting me speak here today. Now, I've got to say, since I dropped science out of grade 10, and, the following year I dropped all math courses, I was very surprised when I was chosen to be the school's veterinarian. However, nevertheless, I am truly honored and privileged to speak in front of some of the most talented, most dignified, and the most important people I have ever met and that are on the world today. You have graciously entrusted in me, who is in the exact same position as you, with the task of delivering an advice-ridden farewell that sends you on to the next chapter of the rest of your fresh adult lives. Now, considering I chose the career path to literally tell jokes, I'm not sure how accurate this will be, but I will try my best for you, my friends. I want to begin by congratulating all of you. A sincere congratulations. I want you to imagine all of the pain, all of the struggle, all of the hardship you've gone through all those exams and summatives and projects and those oh-so-elusive community service hours. And you wear this gown now. You have persevered. And at this moment, you are the wisest, the most experienced, and the most mature you have ever been. Now I want you to imagine the first day of grade 9. You walked up to the front doors of the high school. The high school, the cool kid, teenage dream babysitter school. You walked massive hallways, bigger than you were ever used to. And you left the house excited to make fresh starts and new friends. But not before you looked in the mirror. Said, oh my God, Now, I would like to talk to you about improvisational comedy. Improv for short, improvi for me. Improv was something I got involved with here at Canterbury very early on. Improv, if you did not know, is a form of theater where one is usually given a suggestion by the audience and then has to create a scene off the top of their heads with no preparation or script. This ensures that nothing is off limits in improv. And I mean, absolutely nothing. Got scared now. I was also always just so perplexed of how making things up could be an art form. I mean, isn't that what we do every day? Every time we talk, it's rare that we've scripted out what we're going to say. Every movement we make isn't choreographed. I could be making up this speech right now. We recognize the situation. We react, we adapt, and we adjust. That is just a normal part of human life. So I began to discover that the rules that govern a good improv scene are actually very helpful guidelines for real life. You will find that improv and life share the same complete and utter organized chaos that I have come to learn and love. Now I'd like to share with you some improv rules. What does improv need? Well, firstly, you need a suggestion. Can I get a suggestion from the audience, please?
How improv affects relationships.
How improv affects relationships. What a great suggestion. Thanks. Improv is a great way to manage relationships. One correlation, actually, between life and improv is that you need to be able to work with a team. To trust and endow others as best you can in high-stakes circumstances. The first players on your team are likely your parents, or those who acted as the role of your guardians. Isn't guardian just such a majestic and appropriate word for these people? I mean, I'm seeing swords, I'm seeing armor. You know, they would be the knights and the warlords if your scene was set in medieval times. And no matter who has come to support you today, even if they could not be present, we thank you for the strength and the trust that you have placed in us until now. You play such an important part of our lives, and ergo, by the rule of the butterfly effect, to everybody here. You will meet many people along the way who will inspire you and show you love and support. You may have found many of these people at this lovely little cocoon we call Canterbury, where the environment is open-minded, open-ended, creative, and protective. And during your time at Canterbury, you are sheltered from many horrors of the world. However, as your valuable DeLorean, I feel like it is my duty to tell you that a lot of your team will talk over each other. Many won't connect most of the time. You may forget that some of the members are even there, and the way that you interact and play with them may change. But the most important thing to remember is that the members of your team must consist of people that can take anything you do and make it better. That will stick with you when you're failing on stage as well as succeeding, and that will make you feel confident enough to make those mistakes. And your team can be as small or as large as you like. Now, this is the scary part. Once you and your team have got an idea of what your scene is going to be, everyone will separate on stage. Everybody will disperse. The people you spent your entire life with will suddenly feel very far away. And some people might turn into very useful things, you know, like a mystical, wish-granting palm tree, or, ominous leaky sink. Like, I can use those things, but some people might turn into, a pole, or a wall. Don't be a wall! Oh my God, take a risk! Get involved! What am I supposed to do with a wall? Stare at it? Like, even a scene that goes off the rails is better than taking a boring choice. Oh, wall. After 4 years at Canterbury, you deserve to make your scene a little more exciting than choosing to be a wall. Take a risk. Take civics and careers in the summer. Pick the hard campus instead of the small one. Decide on a grad break before the last week of school. life after high school will not be at all the glory that you imagined. That the responsibilities that you will take on will leave a feeling of devastating stress and overwhelming emptiness at the same time. So back to improv. In improv, seeing the positive and having a sense of humor is immensely important. You have to be open to anything. You cannot say no. You honestly cannot decline anything that is given to you. For example, say your seat is at a grocery store and you're stacking fruit, and then someone comes up and decides that this grocery store is now completely on fire. That is your new reality. If, for example, you're playing the role of a dentist and you're cleaning a tooth, and suddenly someone comes at you and starts trashing your office and singing the theme song to Friends, you must immediately treat that as the truth. If, for example, you're taking your nightly drive by your ex's house to see if they're still awake at 1:30 in the morning, again, you know what my point is. Who doesn't want to see a scene about a fruit inferno salad? Who doesn't want to see someone justify the tooth that was maybe a little unsatisfied with who Rachel ended up with? Something that at first may seem like the biggest wrench in your plans, or something that will twist the scene in a different direction that you wanted or envisioned, will inevitably be the factor that presents the most opportunity. If you can learn how to accept what you are given, not to dwell, and to show the world how you can make adversity work for you, it will lead you down such interesting paths that would not have existed if you had tried to follow your ideal idea of perfection. It truly is how we can react to these things, and to not take the sympathy we are given for granted that defines who we can become. Now, making sure you feel secure is important when you start off on your own. You don't want to take, you don't want to take things too slow, but you don't want to take things too fast. You don't want to take out a mortgage, but you also don't want to start making your scrunchies out of tinfoil because you can't afford elastics. If you can take those risks and be the immovable object to life's unstoppable force, you'll find that time will move exactly, or if not very closely, at the pace that you want it. A similarity, albeit a misconception between life and improv, is that often louder is better. Extroversion is praised and admired, while those who stay to the side go unrecognized. However, something that I've realized as I end my journey here, from the very end of the spectrum, a screaming banshee of a grade 9 who thought that caps lock and neon were the best things ever invented, to now, is that one has to listen. One has to interpret and observe as often as they can. Being at Canterbury, as important as it was for many of us to perform and display our own talents, I am positive that for each and every one of us, it was impossible not to be part of the audience. To watch, to absorb, to expand, and reflect on the extraordinary things that this school lets its students accomplish. At the school, I was played a song that changed my entire life. I bonded with others over the smell of rotten paint. I was tempted to keep my math courses, not because I liked math, but because I was afraid to be severed of the people who taught and studied it. I was a spectator every day to the smallest things that make Canterbury what it is. Violins and vocals in the stairwells. The bathrooms telling me that I am beautiful, or am I beautiful? Monsieur Leconte's meticulously tended gardens next to our gorgeous front field, and navigating the school simply by recognizing different fire hazards. Murals, murals. It's hard to remind you all of what we will be leaving behind, but that is a valedictator's job. And these memories that you will keep of your friends, your accomplishments, and the teachers that devote the majority of their lives to make sure that we feel at home and at peace with ourselves. will always be there to comfort you and move you forward. Now, I know you'd like me to continue for another 30 minutes. But I will leave you here today with this. The most important lesson I have ever learned through making things up is that nothing will help you more to say your piece than helping others say theirs. I have learned that one who is overly exuberant will be remembered momentarily for a good line, or as that girl who does the fantastic poetic octopus impression, and it was one of my best. However, it is the one that supplies the confidence and the heart in someone else's spirit that will be always needed and valued above all else. As we say goodbye today, remember to be decent, to be generous, and to never crush the goals of others to achieve yours. The graciousness of the human race, if you can believe in it, will without a doubt construct a grand pedestal for you that is entirely deserved. And that is the true art of making things up just right. Make your scenes extraordinary. Thank you. Canterbury High School.